Hello everybody, it's SnowRunner on hard mode and regular mode alike, but this video is mostly for hard mode players, or regular mode players that are thinking about playing hard mode. Now there's this video out there, I'm sure most of you have seen it, that play hard mode, because we searched for it on YouTube, and the title of the video is SnowRunner on hard mode hard? Something to that effect. It may not be verbatim to that word, to those words. But then I watched the video and it shows the guy, and this guy is a good SnowRunner player. He's an intelligent guy. He knows what he's talking about. But he's arrogant. And what I think happened, long story short, either three possible things. Either one, this person is now deceased. God rest their soul. I wish them and their loved ones the best. But I do not believe that is the case. The other thing that happened is, I believe they eventually got into a position where their awesome vehicle that they claimed was just so great, and I'll get to that in a minute, they unlocked one of the best trucks in the game right off the start. And this guy has a video on his channel. I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It's got lots of views, where it shows how to go to one of the, I think it's the Kola Peninsula, or is it Amur? I don't remember. It's one of these maps where it's just all snow. Like here's Amur, as we know, those that are familiar with this game, is a ice snow wonderland nightmare for hard mode players. Do come prepared. I have briefly visited this. It kicked my ass. I only brought in one vehicle, a scout, just to scope it out. I wanted to check it out. Wow, is this gonna be tough? You need to bring your best A game and a lot of cash to this one. But I believe it was the Kola Peninsula. I have not unlocked this vehicle, but apparently there is a way to unlock it for hard mode players just starting out. You can go here, somewhere on this guy's channel, there's a video, and it shows how to unlock it. And he shows step-by-steps how to do it, and it's a proven technique that will work. But the problem is that hard mode player then is completely broke. They have no backup money for recoveries. They will literally have like $50 to their name. Literally. Left. Once they take this guy's method, go unlock this real powerful vehicle. I don't know if you want to call it a truck. You might just want to call it something else. But we'll just call it a truck for the sake of SnowRunner. I don't remember the model number of this vehicle, but trust me, it's one of the best vehicles in the game for SnowRunner. And if you get it right off the start, yeah, of course you're going to do well. That's a given. And I can respect the fact that he actually pursued that. But the problem is he gets arrogant, kind of pompous. In this video where he talks to the SnowRunner community, he's like, "Look at me." This is kind of like how this video goes. The title of the video is hard mode hard for SnowRunner players. You know, you use the word hard twice in the same sentence, but is hard mode really hard? And it shows him going through this deep, like, snowy terrain. I believe it's probably, I don't know where it is, to tell you the truth, but it shows him going through this muddy, swampy, boggy, snowy area. I don't remember. And it shows him just cutting through it like butter. And he's like, "It doesn't look hard for me. I'm having a good time." And then all of a sudden, his SnowRunner videos stopped. His channel just came to a complete halt. Like, slam on the brakes, done. Now, when I said earlier it was possible three things happened. Either one, he is deceased, and that's why his channel stopped. That's why he quit making the videos. And if that is the case, God rest his soul, rest in peace. I wish him and his loved ones the very best. But I need to address something that I think most possibly happened. Most likely, the first scenario is not the case. The second and third scenario I'm going to give you is probably the case that happened to this player. This arrogant, pompous asshole who basically taunted the community into saying, no, hard mode's not hard if you just follow my techniques, just do what I do. But I think what happened was he did not want to admit. See, I would have respected him if he would admit this, but I don't think he will. And if he's dead, like I say, I mean, that's a totally different thing. And if that's the case, then I apologize ahead of time. But I do not think that's the case. What I really think happened was, because he had no backup money, because he had no backup vehicles, because he had no money, that goes hand in hand. And he just jumped right into SnowRunner and got one of the best vehicles in the game. Gloated and just basically Muhammad Ali'd himself and said, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Look at me, hard mode's nothing, it's a cakewalk. Just do what I do. And all you players that say hard mode is hard, you're pathetic idiots. Fuck you. That's basically what his video was doing. And he made that video so well that it's got thousands of views, but doesn't have very many comments. I gave it a dislike because it's pompous, and it doesn't address the fact that hard mode is hard. It does take some time. You're gonna need a 3-subject notebook and a pencil and paper to figure this game out. It's one of the most complicated games out there. On hard mode, I stress that, not regular mode. Regular mode, money grows on trees, there's no consequences. It's an easy button. Don't even talk to me about regular mode. It's a completely different game, even though it shares the same title, even though it's basically the same game with a different save. Hard mode is it turns this game on its head, okay? And if you haven't played hard mode, don't even leave a comment addressing what I'm talking about. If you play regular mode and you want to learn about hard mode, by all means, leave a comment and ask me some questions. But don't leave an arrogant comment when you've never actually gone out and done it yourself. But hard mode players, you know what I'm talking about that have actually done it. Hard mode is hard. There's consequences. You cannot just save your game whenever you want to, first of all. The game automatically saves for us. We have no control over it, so everything is permanent. Everything has a consequence. You either pack up and go home or deal with it and become successful and rise above this game and figure out a roundabout way of accomplishing your goal. And that's the beauty of hard mode, is it makes it fun because it's a super hard, tough challenge to remain successful. Because this game can get to a point where it will turn a hard mode player to the point where they will just walk away from SnowRunner completely rather than start over. Because it takes months and thousands of hours to get to the point where we're at. And right now I'm on Tennessee, a nice relaxing map. I left the Dawn. The Dawn, fuck that map, is a nightmare for hard mode players. I'll come back to it later, but for right now, fuck the Dawn map. And I don't mean the Dawn as in the Dawn, I mean the map, the name of the map is the Dawn, okay? Fuck the Dawn. It's a completely, I made a video about that. That's a completely different topic. We'll if you want to ask me about it, you can, but what I think happened is this arrogant player who made that video, yes, I say arrogant and pompous, I can't stress that enough. Their vehicle got stranded, they were unable to rescue it, or they ran out of fuel, or they needed to recover it, and recovering it would have just been detrimental. They would have had to start over their hard mode campaign. And getting that really tough vehicle is tough to get, yes. And when you get it, yes. But don't be pompous about it. Don't Muhammad Ali yourself and be pompous about it. And then have karma come back and bite you in the ass. Which is what I think happened to that player. And they won't admit it. And that's why their YouTube channel just came to a complete halt. Their SnowRunner videos stopped. And let me tell you, this guy's SnowRunner videos were top-notch, well-made. This guy did research, very intelligent, easy to follow. I subscribed to him at the time, and then later on I unsubscribed because basically his channel has been just dead in the water for so long. No pun intended if that's the case. And like I say, if that's the case, then by all means, hey, that's a completely different realm, and life is for the living. So what I think happened is he is still alive. He is still, on this planet, but he's not man enough to admit what actually happened is that his ultimate vehicle that he thought was so great, it got stuck, didn't it? Or somehow it flipped. And it's probably really hard to flip, obviously, because it weighs so much. It's one of the probably a heavy vehicle. It's a badass vehicle. But SnowRunner is SnowRunner, and the developers make the roads, and just when you let your guard down, boom, something happens on the road and your vehicle flips, and you're like, how did that happen? And you're like, well, it's SnowRunner. And that's when accidents happen, is when we least expect them, and it's detrimental. So what I think happened is he had no money left, he couldn't recover it, he probably had just a few trucks, but they weren't powerful enough to flip it back upright with the winches. So he was stuck. But if he would have just made a video and come out and admitted it, his channel would have risen. His channel was ready to rise above. He had, at the time I saw him, he was gaining like 10 subscribers a day when it first started. And people were respecting him. And you gotta respect a player that can walk the walk, but he couldn't talk the talk. He wouldn't back up what he would say. And he wasn't man enough, I think, to admit that, hey, he fucked up, and that you know what I'm talking about. You've seen the video. Anyway, I just wanted to address that. It's been on my mind ever since I started hard mode over a year ago. Yes, over a year ago that I've been playing this game. It's a very meticulous game. You will have a blast, but you will also you will get pissed, you will get mad, you will walk away. Just come back to it, start a different map. Like, for example, I was in the Dawn, a complete nightmare map. It's claustrophobic. You can hardly move anywhere because of all these rocks and thick trees, very thick trees. And these rocks that if you barely touch them with your vehicle, they do hundreds of points of damage to your vehicle. And on hard mode, that's just not going to work. This map is a money pit because of that. I kid you not. See where is it? My Tega 6455B is up here. And it's only gone from here in the garage from over here. It's only traveled that little way. I traveled this way to do a little bit of exploring, and then I traveled back up. During that time, I think I've taken 500 points of damage total. And my repair trucks can basically have to follow them around. This map is a logistical nightmare. So I'm not doing this map. I'm gonna go do the Yukon instead. I'll leave these vehicles here for now. You see, this is why hard mode is hard. This is why I needed to make this video. I needed to address something, and something that I know is true. That guy walked away from SnowRunner because something happened to his campaign, and he wasn't man enough to admit it. He thought he was the best. And he gloated about it, and he taunted all of us in the community. And then something happened. Like I say, this guy's channel and his video quality was top-notch for SnowRunner. This guy had it all. He knew what he was doing. But to be a real man is when you make a mistake, is when you have to man up and admit it. And I will admit that the Dawn is best reserved for smaller trucks. These roads here in the Dawn, let's go back to the Dawn, especially here, are not made for large trucks. I know you need a logging truck, but I believe the sawmill is up here somewhere, but I believe you have to take logs to the sawmill to turn them into planks, and I have not got there. And so far, the Dawn has just been nothing but a money pit for me, and I don't have a lot of money. And the reason is because I bought a vehicle recently, and I spent, plus upgrades, total of like $145,000, which left me with barely enough money to play this game on hard mode. But the beauty of hard mode is you can find missions and just make money along the way, and then eventually you'll start to make money again, and it starts to drive the engine. But the problem with the Dawn is just wandering around, and you don't make money until you find the lumber to make the planks. And until then, it's a logistical nightmare, and you'll take hundreds of points of damage to your vehicles by the time you get somewhere. And as we know, we cannot teleport back to the garage on hard mode because there's a consequence. It costs a lot of money. On regular mode, the Dawn, I'm sure, is a fine map because there's no consequences. The dawn will test your skills on the hard mode. Be careful. Do your research. Be prepared to spend lots of money and throw vehicles at it, because right now I'm kind of trapped. I would like to explore more parts of the dawn here in factory grounds, but I have to backtrack, and I don't want to do that right now. I do have the Tuz 420 here. I suppose I could take the Tuz and go south down here, but I do know just from watching YouTube videos that the dawn, that the sawmill that I need is up here, but I just want to lay eyes on it first, and I need to know if it's long logs, medium logs, or short logs. Information is everything when it comes to SnowRunner, and hard mode is hard, goddammit. I apologize for using the Lord's name in vain right there, but it warranted it at that point. It did warrant that, and I think the Lord can agree there. Amen. Hard mode is hard, and I just wanted to address that pompous video out there. That's the only video out there that's got a lot of views that addresses this, and it rubbed me the wrong way. It really did, because of the arrogance of the whole situation and the guy's channel and who he was. I've watched all his videos. I have not made any comments. I have given him some dislikes on some videos, in my opinion, that deserve that dislike from my point of view. It got a lot of likes, but that's just the other players that just like to get on a bandwagon. Here's the thing about the humans, in my opinion, the human species. A lot of people will bandwagon on a cause that they think is this tough guy, where players can talk down to other players and kind of not necessarily bully. No, not bully, but kind of taunt and say nanny nanny boo boo, kind of like the guy from Bart Simpson, the bully guy, where he goes ha ha and he points his finger and he does that ha ha taunt. It's kind of like that. And a lot of people seem to flock to that and think that's a good cause, because people love to do that for some reason. They like to group together and just become part of a cause. And if that cause is a negative cause, for some reason it becomes, people flock to it in a more fashionable way towards a negative cause. Yes, it's negative for that guy's video is negative, and because it's just small and short, and the way it's done is pompous and arrogant, and it deserved a video like this that I just made in response, to show that hard mode, you just don't go and find the best vehicle in the game and think you're gonna rise above everybody like that and be pompous about it. You got to be careful. If he would have come back, with a video and say, guys, this is what happened. My vehicle flipped. I flipped on its side. I couldn't rescue it. Now I've got nothing. I've got no money. I've got no vehicles to sell, because basically you're throwing all your money into one basket with this method that this guy used. Can you all feel the emotion? Can you all feel what I'm talking about right now? Do you understand where I'm coming from? I used Muhammad Ali as an example, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. For those that understand, suffice to say, you know what I'm talking about, which is also the name of my channel. Let me address one more thing before I close this out. What is up with people calling me Suffix? Suffix, like suffix, but with suffix, Like I've never ever heard somebody say suffice to say in their life. Stop calling me Suffix. Unless it's a joke, then I can laugh with you, okay? You want to pick on me and call me Suffix, okay? But they are legitimately walking around in life and saying Suffix when they see the word suffice. What? It's like I wonder their education, like how do they get by in life? Anyway, I just wanted to address that. There are a few out there, and if you're watching this video, we can all laugh at each other. We can all poke fun. And if it's criticism, make sure it's constructive, and I believe it was. Suffice to say. All right, everybody, have a great day, and good luck out there in your SnowRunner campaigns. There's a lot of maps to work around. You know, if one map you're starting to do terrible in, and you're starting to really you want to just throw your controller through the wall, well, don't do that. Just go to another map and relax and come back to it later. Find some other ways to make money in this game by visiting other maps. Yes, I know that sounds kind of hard to do because the deployment fees are crazy. The deployment fees are detrimental in this game. They're debilitating. And the only way you would know that is if you're a hard mode player. You know what I'm talking about. The deployment fees are huge when it comes to a successful or a not successful campaign. Because if you get yourself to the point where you're selling trucks, that's when it gets really bad. Let's just close this video out and show you my trucks, because the Aramatsu Forester, I just recently acquired that because I just recently did Maine. Loved Maine, by the way. The Ford F-750. Oh yeah, everybody knows what these trucks are. I'm going to go over them briefly. But I just want to show you, I still have the original Fleet Star. I have not sold this. I love it. You can use it in Maine, but you're going to need to tow it a few times, but it is a good truck to still have. I'm glad I haven't sold it, but this is the truck on my list that I will sell if I have to. If I get to the point where I have no choice. Hard mode players, you know what I'm talking about? Then this is the one, but I don't want to. I love this truck. It's my starter truck, but it's on the list. The GMC is also on the list. Where's the GMC? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's the starter truck. I still have it. I probably saw it. I have 23 of them. You can pause your screen. You can look at them. You can ask me in the comments about these if you'd like. Here it is. Another starter truck that we start out with. Our second truck that we find on hard mode. Or our third truck, I'm sorry. But our second, work truck. I still have this one too. Yes, it's useful late game. And that I'm kind of like mid-game, late game. I would say mid-game right now in my campaign. The P16, keep this truck. It's a badass. It's got the loudest horn in the game. Even though it doesn't have all-wheel drive, it's got the biggest tires in the game. A very, very heavy truck, not the heaviest truck in the game. A very powerful engine. It will haul your logs. It will get through that deep mud, even though it doesn't have all-wheel drive, if you know what you're doing. Do not sell this truck. Keep it. If you sell it, you'll regret it. You will regret it in the future. I'm so glad I haven't. I've done my research. The Tuz 420, oh yeah. We know what that's all about. The best scout vehicle, in my opinion. The Dan, oh yeah. Love this. This is right now got a fuel tanker on it, but it's my go-to for the large crane if I need it. Because that's another video. But yeah, I just wanted to show everybody, yeah, I've got this. I've got two 6455Bs. I bought one, and then the one that you unlock that the game gives you. I've got two of these. One is in the lowland, and the other one is in, right now, the Dawn Factory Grounds, which I'm going to have to come back to the Factory Grounds later. Right now, Factory Grounds is kicking my ass. I've had bad luck. It's a tough map. The rocks are sharp. They will tear your vehicles up if you barely touch them. It's a money pit. So I'm going to have to come back to the Dawn. I'm going to leave it there for now. Right now, I've got 3 vehicles in the Dawn. I've got the Tega, I've got my Cat, and I've got my favorite scout vehicle. And, of course, the Cat, like I say. Those 3 vehicles are going to remain in the Dawn until I come back to it. And I've got a fleet of trucks where I can, you know, do those maps without these 3 vehicles. And I believe I'm going to go to the Yukon. And I will survive, and I will figure out ways to make money again. I will do missions, pick myself up, dust myself off, and get back to playing this game again. Because right now, I have less than $7,000, barely enough to deploy 2 vehicles and I want to deploy one work truck here to Maine. So really, I only have enough money to deploy one. $3,500 deployment fee. 2 here to Tennessee. Did I say Maine? I meant Tennessee. To do some deliveries. To start unlocking some bridges. I'm sure it's probably going to be bridges and tunnels or blocks. Just so that I can start making money again. So that I don't have to sell one of my starter trucks, which is on the list to sell. You know, because I've got backup plans. I take my time with hard mode. Hard mode, you have to take your time. You have to do a lot of planning, otherwise you're going to fail. So hard mode, it's going to be one of the most mind-reeling games you're ever going to play. But once you get used to a map, it starts to flow a little better. It starts to get easier. The maps start to get more fun. You start to make some money. You can start to relax. But that's what makes hard mode fun, is it's tough. Alright. I hope now you can appreciate that hard mode is hard, and to say that it's not and be pompous about it. It's just, to see that video a year ago deserved a response from me. And I think it's been about time it's overdue. Where did you go, dude? Your channel is great. I look forward to your videos. What happened? God rest your soul if that's what happened. But what I really think is you walked away from SnowRunner and you were not man enough to admit it. You let your YouTube channel come to a screeching halt. You had a great YouTube channel, dude. What happened? Come back and start playing this game again and start hard mode over again if you have to, but be man enough to admit what really happened and tell us. We know what happened. You pompous asshole.